the real science behind tornadoes. Do it yourself. They are some of the most violent storms on the planet, a furious, spinning column of air that can literally wipe a town off the map. As a spectacle of nature's power, they are both terrifying and mesmerizing, capable of producing the fastest winds on Earth. For centuries, we've watched these atmospheric titans tear across the landscape, sometimes over a mile wide, leaving a path of unbelievable destruction. But what if the fundamental secret to their incredible power could be unlocked right here? In this video, we're going to create a vortex in a jar, and I'll show you how this tiny swirling marvel serves as a perfect analogy to understand the real science of how massive thunderstorms and violent winds conspire to create nature's ultimate storm. We're going to build a vortex, then break it down, piece by piece, to see what makes a real tornado tick. You'll see how a few simple household items can help us visualize the awesome forces that shape our planet's weather. The do-it-yourself tornado. First up, let's build our own personal vortex. It's incredibly simple, totally safe, and the results are genuinely hypnotic. Here's what you need. A clear jar with a lid that seals Tita, pickle, or mason. Jar is perfect. Water, a few squirts of clear dish soap, and, for a little razzle-dazzle, some glitter or tiny beads. This will represent the debris a real tornado sucks up, making the vortex way easier to see. Now, for the fun part. Fill the jar with water until it's about 3/4 full, leaving some air at the top. Next, add a couple of drops of dish soap. If you've got glitter, add a generous pinch. This is our debris field. Now, screw that lid on as tight as you can. We're doing science here, not mopping the floor. This is where the magic happens. Hold the jar and swirl it in a smooth, circular motion for a few seconds. No need to shake it up and down, just a steady, consistent spin. Now, set it on a table and watch. Instantly, you get this beautiful, swirling funnel cloud right in the middle of the jar. The glitter gets swept up into the current, spiraling around just like dust, debris, and the occasional lawn gnome in a real tornado. Go ahead and experiment. Swirl it faster, or slower. See how that changes the vortex's shape and speed. Can you make a wide, powerful-looking funnel? Or a skinny, rope-like one? It's a cool trick, but it's also a fantastic visual aid for the real thing. The bridge. The science in the jar. Okay, so your tornado in a jar is obviously much safer than the real deal, but the physics of the vortex itself are surprisingly similar. The swirling motion you created is all about centripetal force, center-seeking force that pulls the spinning water inward. As you spin the jar, inertia wants to fling the water out, but the walls of the jar force it to rotate. Thanks to fluid dynamics and gravity, this creates a low-pressure area in the middle, forming that iconic funnel. Think of an ice skater. When they pull their arms in, they spin faster, right? That's called conservation of angular momentum. By pulling their mass closer to the center, they concentrate their rotational energy and speed up. Your vortex does the same thing. In the jar, your hand provided the energy to get that spin going. But out in the atmosphere, there's no giant hand to spin the sky. So where does that rotation come from? To answer that, we have to scale up from our jar to a monstrous, rotating thunderstorm called a supercell. The deep dive, the real science. Tornadoes don't just pop out of nowhere. They are born from the most powerful type of thunderstorm on Earth, the supercell. What makes a supercell special is that its entire structure is built around a vast, constantly rotating updraft called a mesocyclone. This thing is a colossal, slowly spinning engine in the sky, miles wide. But even that isn't enough. It needs a secret ingredient. That ingredient is wind shear. Simply put, wind shear is when the wind's speed or direction changes as you go higher in the atmosphere. Imagine the air is calm at ground level, but a few thousand feet up, it's ripping along at 50 miles per hour. This difference creates an invisible, horizontal rolling motion in the atmosphere, like giant, invisible tubes of air rolling along now. A supercell thunderstorm has a powerful updraft, a column of warm, moist air shooting skyward. The classic explanation for how a tornado gets its spin is that this updraft acts like a giant hand, tilting that horizontally spinning tube of air into a vertical position. This is the aha moment. The horizontal spin from wind shear gets tipped upright by the updraft, creating the vertically rotating column of the mesocyclone. Your hand spinning the jar was a shortcut for this entire process. However, modern science shows the story is even more complex. While that tilting action is key, a crucial role is also played by downdrafts, currents of rain-cooled air that descend and wrap around the meso. This helps to concentrate and intensify the rotation near the ground, essentially tightening the spin like that ice skater pulling in their arms. When that rotation becomes concentrated enough and a funnel cloud touches down, it officially becomes a tornado. The scale of power, the power of these storms, is hard to wrap your head around, which is why scientists created the Enhanced Fujita, or EF, scale. It rates tornadoes from EF0 to EF5, not based on size, but on the destruction they cause. It's a scale based on damage, from which wind speeds are estimated. An EF0, with winds from 65 to 85 miles per hour, is a nuisance. It might damage some shingles or snap tree branches. An EF2 is where things get serious. With winds from 111 to 135 miles per hour, it can rip the entire roof off a well-built house. An EF4 is devastating. Its winds, from 166 to 200 miles per hour, can level sturdy houses and toss cars like toys. And then there's the EF5. With winds topping 200 miles per hour, it is the most violent force of nature. An EF5 can scour a well-built house completely from its foundation, leaving just a concrete slab. It can turn cars into unrecognizable scrap metal. The damage is simply described as incredible. Understanding this scale shows what happens when the simple physics in our jar gets amplified by the immense energy of a supercell. Tornado myths debunked. The terrifying power of tornadoes has spawned a lot of myths, some of them dangerously wrong. Let's bust a few. First, open the windows to equalize the pressure. This is a classic and potentially deadly myth. Your house isn't destroyed by pressure. It's shredded by ferocious wind and flying debris. Opening windows does nothing to help, wastes time you need to find shelter, and can actually make it easier for the wind to get inside and tear your home apart from within. Next, a highway overpass is a safe shelter. Absolutely not. An overpass creates a wind tunnel effect, accelerating the wind and debris. It is one of the most dangerous places you could possibly be. Lying flat in a low-lying ditch, far from the road and any cars, is a much better last resort option. Finally, the idea that tornadoes can't hit big cities, cross rivers, or go up mountains. This is completely false. Tornadoes go wherever the storm that creates them goes. They have hit major cities like Dallas and Nashville, and they have no problem crossing water or rugged terrain. Believing these myths can be a fatal mistake. The only safe place during a tornado is a certified storm shelter, a basement, or a small interior, windowless room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. So, from a simple swirl of glitter in a jar, we can see the ghost of our planet's most powerful storm. We see the birth of a vortex, the focusing of energy, and the beautiful, terrifying physics of rotation. The same basic forces that make our little whirlpool, when scaled up in the vast theater of the sky, create the awe-inspiring and destructive power of a tornado. It's a pretty humbling reminder that even nature's most epic phenomena are governed by principles we can explore right in our own kitchen. Thanks for taking this journey with me. If you enjoyed figuring out the science behind this incredible weather, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell for more breakdowns of the world around us. And let me know in the comments, what other natural phenomenon should we try to recreate next? Stay curious.